yes I do, and then it's a draw in an hour or two, right? But if he goes for something a little bit trickier, like, don't know, the London comes to mind, or variations of London, this Jababa London, as I was told, yeah, d4, knight c3, bishop f4, or straight up knight f3, b3, the blitz Naka Repetra, then we might see more of a game, right? Does not...
Miro, I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm very, very worried. There's no tea.
It's a novelty.
Yes.
It's a novelty there.
It's a novelty. I don't know if this is him telling his opponent, listen, Wesley, it's going to be a short day today.
Or,
I don't even need tea.
Or the opposite. Like, I mean, okay, we are up for a serious business now. No tea breaks today. I'm going to work and I'm going to make you work, so there'll be no spare time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really, really curious to see the opening and what it plays out to. Wesley arrived at the board, still a couple of minutes before the start.
We have about 2 minutes before starting, I think, so
yeah, so I think that's exactly when we have to break for sponsors ads, and hopefully we'll catch the first move.
Yeah, I think they're starting in a few seconds, actually.
Yes, and Naka fully concentrated, or at least tries to, kind of appears to be.
Oh my gosh. That is scary.
That is
scary. Whenever my opponent, I'm sort of sitting down at the board and my opponent is already fully focused, hands on his head sort of vibes, I'm always terrified.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you have this, but I mean, I believe most of players, I mean, you play a few tournaments and you kind of develop this sort of a pattern arriving at the board. So some people seated are like Naka 5 minutes before the game. Some prefer to arrive a few seconds before the clock is started. So that's quite interesting, because I never felt never found attractive to be seated in front of my opponent. I used to walk a lot, actually. Whenever it's not my move, right, I would make a move and then just, go for a walk. Simply because, I mean, it's not like I have something against my opponent or anything, but it was a little, I mean, it felt a bit awkward, like staring at each other and so on. And sometimes it's absolutely fine, yeah, sometimes, you would play with someone very sympathetic and it's absolutely fine, but yeah, like, especially if the game itself is of a kind of big sports value, I don't know, you play for the first place in a tournament or stuff like that, right, then it always felt a bit awkward and I would prefer to leave the board as soon as I can.
Yeah, I can imagine. Have you ever had those moments where your opponent just stares you down the entire time?
Well, there've been examples. Yeah, I mean, obviously, playing open tournaments, you do play with a bunch of different people, so sometimes that would be the case. Yeah. Okay, so e4, e5 played, which is a little bit of a pessimistic start, I have to say. And
pessimistic?
yeah,
I love
exactly.
e4.
No, I mean, well, if it's kind of
high level.
I mean, the scenario I was describing, so that so far it plays out to this theory of Naka testing one of the lines that Wesley's going to pick, and
Spekulation, und deswegen möchte ich auch keine Gerüchte irgendwie da annoncieren, aber die Möglichkeit besteht.
Ja, wir sehen hier was können wir erwarten? In Spanisch sehen wir auf dem Brett. Das kann natürlich alles bedeuten bis jetzt.
Ja, Wesley spielt eigentlich fast nur Spanisch, deswegen kann man eigentlich dazu gar nicht viel sagen, außer dass das mehr oder weniger zu erwarten war aus Sicht von Wesley so. Und bei Hikaru, ja gut, der ist wahrscheinlich mit E4 und D4 flexibel, ja.
Joining us today. Yeah, we can see you, but yet can't hear from you for whatever reason. Or I can't hear from you. Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's perfect. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. Yes. And how was the tournament for you?
I mean, okay, the result was, at least for me, I would say pretty good. I mean, it was a really nice experience. As I already said a few times, I believe, I think we had the chance to face
I wonder. Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I see what you mean.
24. I was hoping there was this line. I don't know if you're aware, Vincent. There was this line Andreikin won against Kramnik once. I think it was Queen C3, right after Queen D6.
Yeah.
So at least there is a little bit of trickery going on, right? I mean, after Queen C3, white still not worse, and he might pose some problems. I mean, this is just tiebreak, ladies and gentlemen. What was the deal, Vincent? You were supposed to join us for a couple of hours, right?
So we can continue the broadcast and talk about other stuff.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's well, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's absolutely a legit decision by Hikaru, right? As you pointed out, he is, after all, the tiebreak specialist. He won all the tiebreaks he was involved in this tournament. So,
But yeah, I mean, Wesley also played, I mean, a lot of this online Magnus championships and also, I think, performed really well. So, I mean, certainly Wesley is also not someone you should underestimate in tie breaks, that's for sure. I mean, he was a really, really strong player there.
Yeah, and I still remember kind of pre-COVID when this Grand Chess Tour was a big thing, right? Wesley winning the rapid portion very often. They would have this tournament where you play 2 days of rapid and then a day of blitz, and rapid would be very often won by Wesley, sometimes in front of Magnus, not only Hikaru and the other guys. So Wesley should not be underestimated, exactly as you said.